Alright, you know who I am, Rom Wills. I'm not going to have my usual opening today because of the seriousness of what I have to say. And when will Me Too deal with these teachers? And y'all know the teachers I'm talking about. I'm talking about these high school teachers having sex with these underage boys. And I emphasize the word boys. Because, you know, I can see Me Too, they protesting everybody and everybody's like hashtag Me Too, and you got the founders of it running around. In fact, but then it was ironic that one actress who really started the whole thing, or, you know, got it started, right? She was accused of having sex with an underage boy. And you notice they got that out of the news real quick. I don't even know her name now. I don't even feel like looking that shit up, right? But when is Me Too going to deal with this shit? Real talk. Real talk. Because what they think happened to it, they complain about these guys doing whatever to women. Is anybody asking these guys why they doing it? And in many cases, it's because they were abused as children. Now, I'm going to tell you something now. One of the things, you know, people who might follow me on Facebook or something know, you know, always talking about my sons. And I got a 16-year-old son. That dude taller than me, and he's already wearing XLs. So he's filling out. He still got a long way to go. But, you know, I shouldn't have to constantly ask him about his teachers. I shouldn't have to go up to his school, not really checking out on his work, but really just letting them know what the fuck I look like. And let them know there will be a nigga moment up there if I have to go up there because, you know, my son said, well, you know, this teacher was a little bit too friendly to him and stuff. I'm constantly asking, all right, because I'm constantly asking. And you know what? As a father, I shouldn't have to do this. You know, it'd be fucked up enough if I had to do it for a daughter. But I shouldn't have to do this for a son. Now, I'm worried about this. See, everybody, all these women want to be like Me Too and jump out and, you know, some guy rubbed up against her or said something to her. Okay, you know what? That's cool. That's cool. It shouldn't happen. But when the fuck is Me Too going to speak up about what's happening to some of these boys? And I want to give a shout out to Professor Tiason Johnson. Because I follow him on Twitter, and he is vigilant about staying on his stories. He is vigilant. And even growing up, there's always been some older woman in the neighborhood, wherever, where we were, you know, you concerned if this woman is going to mess with a young boy. And it's always one. It's always one. The mothers in the neighborhood know it. See, that's the thing. Women know this shit is going on. Women know this shit is going on. And not really saying anything about it. You know, or they acting like, oh, it's just the men. Well, it's like, well, hold up. Hold up, though. What's up with this woman who always got this young boy coming over her house to, I don't know, do some work or something? Y'all saying something about that? Y'all checking it? You know it's happening. You know it's happening. You go in any neighborhood, you probably any school, and you talk to some of the other teachers and they know what's happening. But what's Me Too saying about it? Oh no, you trying to downplay it and stuff, and then, you know, you got some of the founders of it walking around in first class and stuff. Oh yeah, I know people. You know, shout out to my friend who works at Atlanta Airport. He be telling me some stuff. But when is that going to get addressed? When is a major news organ going to address that? I mean, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. Like every other week, really every week, you hear about some teacher having sex with some young student, and even when they are arrested. Even when they are arrested, right? And they get some like light penalty. Like there was some woman arrested, given 10 years. I think a sentence was suspended or something like that. And she was allowed to keep her teaching license. That's a goddamn sexual predator. Now, because of the work I used to do, I get a notification. I still get a notification of every single sexual predator that lives in my neighborhood. Always a male. But what are we doing about these females? You know? Because I'm going to tell you what, if you worry about that sexual predator, if I talk to every single one, I guarantee they were the victim of molestation. And it ain't always a man doing it. And trust me, I've met many young men who've had an older woman do something. In fact, this video is inspired by a comment on one of my older videos where I talked about sexual abuse. And that messes a lot of young boys up. It ain't like a situation like some Miss Robinson situation, for those who remember that movie, where the guy's like, oh yeah, and all of that. That messes up a lot of dudes, because a lot of times if a woman does that, she's being aggressive. In fact, the comedian DeRay Davis, I saw a Vice interview with him. He's 11 years old, and he had two 30-year-old women force him to give him oral sex. Force him to give them oral sex. And he was like, he didn't even have hair on himself. Man, those bitches should be killed. Yeah, I said it. Flag the goddamn channel. Or flag this video. Seriously, because when I think about stuff like that, because see, I'm going to tell you what, especially with sons, especially like a lot of older women like to be like, oh, he's so cute, he all that. I probably wouldn't be doing this video. I'm gonna catch a case. And I'll tell you that. I don't give a fuck. Send this shit to whatever police department. I'll tell you now. I found out somebody did something to my son, I'd kill the bitches. They ain't no way like ifs, ands, and buts. But see, we need to start addressing that. We need Me Too. Hey, Me Too would get my respect when they start going after some of these teachers, when they start speaking out against them, because that's part of the pattern. You know, and then I'm gonna tell you what, I wrote this article for O'Shea's site, right? And I talked about, and I specifically said black women create the players they hate, right? Part of that does it. Now, even though I specifically said black women in that article, that's all women, period. Where y'all think these players come from? I'm gonna tell you what, I've interviewed a lot of them. A lot of these guys you calling womanizers and wondering why they not settling down, why they don't trust women, ask them about their experience with older women when they were teenagers. Just ask them. And you always going to get something. You always going to get something. You complaining about they spoiled? Well, some older woman just handed it to them. Some older woman bought some. Some older woman taught him how to lie. Some older woman taught him how to be the other man. Because a lot of these teachers and older women got husbands anyway. Nah, when's Me Too going to say something about it? When? That's why when I hear that shit, man, I'm like, okay, fine. You worried about some guy asking you for some pussy or some shit like that. So what about when your stank ass sisters and shit who forcing it on some like 13-year-old because he might be a little bit bigger? Or trying to kiss up on some 8-year-old boy and shit for some reason beyond like he just cute. It ain't in a motherly way. I don't want to hear that shit. That's one thing. That's one thing. When somebody going to speak out on it? When some women going to speak out on it? You know, when you got people like Professor Johnson who do speak out on it. When some goddamn women going to speak out on that shit? When the fuck y'all going to be looking at your women that y'all know? And it's probably some of y'all any goddamn way. Maybe that's the reason why you ain't saying nothing. Nah, this shit ain't one-sided. If you worry about the women and shit, hey, y'all need to be worried about some of these little boys out here. Because I guarantee y'all be ready to kill somebody if it's your son. I guarantee that shit. So when is Me Too? When is Me Too going to address that? You going to spread it? Don't just have one side. Because you worry about that side, but then you create more. But you know what? Maybe that's what you want to do so you can play that little victim bullshit. Nah. When is it going to happen? You know, I hope this shit go viral for real. I hope somebody get in my hey, you know what? Get in my if you get in my comments with some dumbass shit, no, you're gonna see another side of it. Seriously, because there's no excuse for this. If they, hey, I'm gonna be the first one to say, you know what, the whole Me Too and women complaining about men doing this, that, and third, I'm feeling that. Hey, I'm with that. I've been with it, right? Man shouldn't mess with any woman who ain't making it clear she trying to get with her. I tell her, I teach men that. I say, women choose. Look for those choosing signals. If you ain't getting that vibe from her, leave her the fuck alone. But see, women gotta do it. Because a lot of times don't act like those young boys are like really consenting. Shit, you got some older woman or something, she taking advantage of them. In fact, there's one story that Professor Johnson shared and stuff. This woman actually threatened this guy when he trying to get out. Like, if he didn't want to mess with her anymore, she was going to lower his grade. That's fucking coercion. Who the fuck speaking out on that shit? And like I said, y'all know. Women know that shit. And yeah, it's personal for me because now I got, I shouldn't have to be worried about my sons. My oldest son, he getting enough attention from the young girls his age. I'm good with that. But he's shy though. He's shy, and I shouldn't have to be in some threatening posture every time I go to the school. I shouldn't have to be giving him a look like, yeah, come near him, I'll kill you. I shouldn't have to. I should be worried about his other shit. And just to be clear, ain't nothing happened to him, but you know what? Always got to be vigilant. Always got to ask questions. So that's all I had to say today. I had to say it because we got to get this out, man, because this is ridiculous. And that there's no outcry about this says a lot about the hypocrisy of this whole thing. And there needs to be one. Shit. That's fucking it. Bye.